So welcome back in NCHANZPLACE, and it's time for another review. I have here Sideshow Daredevil premium format exclusive. He's an amazing piece, just arrived last weekend together with a bunch of statues that I pre-ordered before. They also, all of them arrived. For this one I'm really excited because I am a Daredevil fan, not a super fanatic fan, but I am a Daredevil fan. So I'd like to show you guys the details of this piece, of this amazing piece. So keep watching. If you like the video, click the thumbs up and help me share with everyone. And if you like reviews for the following weeks, subscribe to my channel, The NCHANZPLACE. So to get started for this piece, it's still available inside your website. This is a premium format and it's also a 1/4 scale. It has an edition size of 750, a price tag of $575 USD. And again, as I mentioned, it's still available inside your website. So this piece is actually also done by Daniel Bell, Alex Pasenko, Ian McDonald. I haven't seen, I think, the art print that comes with this one. I don't remember. I haven't seen it yet. I hope there is, because I think the Punisher has its own art print as well. So I hope this guy also gets his art print. But nonetheless, this has, I would say, like a Daniel Bell sculpt in it, and I do like the entire piece actually. It somehow resembles the XM Wolverine pose. I tried to place them together. It does, not exactly, because they are, I would say, not really facing the same way, but the pose and everything, the details, the arms, it's almost the same. Because as you notice, I think the key things of Daniel Bell when he sculpts, he has this very, let's say, brilliant way of creating the musculature and also those tiny subtle details. I really like that one. You will see it later as well, and that's why it makes his pieces or sculpts really good. So before we go into more details of that stuff, let's start first with the height. So the height and the base on the website is 21 inches, width is 16 inches, and the depth would be the 12 inches. So it's actually not very big piece, but I really do like the cylindrical space that it occupies, and it's actually really good for me, because as you can see, I have not much enough space anymore, so I really need that kind of stuff. And yeah, so it's really good. It has a good weight as well. I'm not sure if Sideshow website is really that accurate. I also don't know how they calculate their weight, but it has a good weight for this size of piece. So now let's start with the details. So the base is actually somehow like a ruined, I'm not sure, maybe church or something, but it definitely has this arch. And this is actually what makes it really good. It's somehow balanced as well. I was actually, when I first got this one, I was actually a bit scared because the base is not that heavy as well, and this part here is somehow like having a, how would say, like very fragile part, but eventually it wasn't, and it's somehow, when I place the statue, it's very this is actually the one that how would say balances it, and it also gives a nice design of this arch, and with some like a broken glass. It's actually really good. The details are actually really nicely done. There's texture in it. There's even like sand stuff, and yeah, and then the wood is actually doesn't feel 100% like wood, but it has a look of like with the wood, so that is actually really good. I like that kind of touch. So going up further, so again, when Daniel Bell has this sculpts, he always have this very good details, subtle details, like ordinary details, ordinary life details, like for example the boots, the lace in the boots, really nicely done. There's even some stitching in the boots that is actually really done. The creases in the pants, that is also beautifully done. I really like it when I checked it in the in here in his feet, near his calves. It's actually beautifully done. It's naturally done actually, and I really like that. Also the straps here really beautifully done, but one of my favorite is actually the boots. It's this, I guess, the same detail he placed on with the Captain America, and that's really nice. The texture, I do like the different separation of the suit for texture, the details. They didn't place all texture. They really separated the smooth part and everything, and it's beautifully done, brilliantly done, to be honest. My other favorite part also is the gloves. Again, the details in here is really nice. I do like that one. And this one actually has, how would say, this billy clubs. So the first Daredevil, no, I'm not sure if it's the first Daredevil, but the previous premium format that I have from Sideshow Daredevil, it has a very tiny billy clubs. I guess they have learned their lesson, and I really do appreciate that one as well. Really appreciate, because here now it's really nicely done, and you can actually pose this billy clubs. Not the billy clubs, but the, how would say, this string that he uses. So you can actually pose this. You can either hang it like that one, or what I actually like is, which I'm not sure if this was in the Sideshow website, I like it when I made it like this, like that one. Not necessarily on top in here, but like you have to move it from below. So I really like this. It's not too symmetric. It gives you like a, let's say, a natural feel on it. So I really like that one. So the head sculpt, this is actually this the exclusive one. It's more like an angry face. I do like the skin tone for this, but the regular one, I'm not that fan of the skin tone. I'm not sure if they're the same or the samely painted, but I do like this one. You can still see the somehow the pinkish lips, but the other one is just too dull for me for the skin tone. So that is actually the difference for me when I look at it, between the regular and the exclusive. I do prefer the regular because I like my Daredevil to be serious, not really angry. He's more focused on things, and he knows more how to I would say control his emotions, just like Batman. So I do like that one. So, and again, going further, for example, the back. So this is actually very nicely done. Like I said, it has like a Daniel Bell, how would say, feel to it because of the details. You can really see the details if you look at the Wolverine Weapon X. You can see all the details, and on top of it, it looks really good. I really appreciate that. It makes this Daredevil piece more of a realistic feel to it, more lean. I think the previous Daredevil was, how would say, a bit bulky. But this one, it actually has a very good pose, and it has a very good physique. Musculature is really nicely done as well. So there are some issues. I'm not sure if there are issues, but I see that there are some, let's say, it's not paint rub, but there's a red in the pants where it's black. But I also noticed that when I really look at it closer, there's also like a reddish tone to this black here, to this mesh or something, and it seems like, I have a feeling they made a first coating of paint with red, and then they covered it with black, and maybe a spray black. That's why it's not too much black where you can still see the red. But the problem for me is that there are still some really light red that comes out, or maybe some spray of the red based on from here. But again, that's very small thing, and normally I don't mind those kind of things. I consider them as like weathering as well. There are different, in the different parts, there are some weathering. I do like it. I really like the weathering. Again, I do wish that they made more weathering also in the boots, because I always like weathering. So this is how I would portray a modern Daredevil. If most of the guys who wants the very classic ones, I'm not sure if this is really for you, but in terms if you want the modern take of Daredevil, I think this is so far the best that I have seen. I've seen the XM, I have the older Daredevil, I've seen some of the customs. So far in terms of license and modern take, I think this is so far the best that I've seen. But I do want to see also a very nicely done classic Daredevil suit or statue. That would be very interesting, wherein it's really classic, you know, like really classic spandex thing, kind of thing, leather, whatever. Not this kind of let's say separated or modularized suit. So, but for me right now, this is actually good enough. I guess I really like this piece that I am willing to, I think for now, really keep it, like really keep it. I guess this is one of the best pieces that I have seen so far in my collection. There's not much in my collection that really stayed very long. There's like only 4 or less than 5 that stayed for like 4 years now, or 3 years, more than 3 years. But I guess this might also be the one. Together with other pieces that just arrived like 2 years ago, this could also be the candidate. So really great stuff for this Daredevil. I really like it. So for the ratings, paint quality, I'm giving it a 4.5 because I've seen some tiny spots, paint spots. For color, I'm giving this 5.0 because I really do like the gray, the black, and the red. Really beautiful color scheme. I do like that one, very Daredevil. For weathering, I'm giving this a 4.5 because I really do wish there were more weathering in the boots, like really some mud or something. And I even wish that there were some weathering mostly also in his hands. I really wish there's some even blood there. But nonetheless, it still has a bigger rating, which is 4.5. Shadows and highlights, I'm also giving a 4.5 because there are some parts that doesn't really have that much of a shadow and highlights, because mostly it's in the arms and in the side as well, and not really mostly here. And I guess they're targeting on how the light, let's say, reflects on this piece. So nonetheless, it's 4.5 for shadows and highlights. Quality, sculpt, I really like the piece. There's no issues with the sculpt, so I'm giving it with a 5.0. Texture wise, beautifully done, brilliantly done. I would say the straps texture really good, and there's not much overly textured, so that's why I'm giving the texture as a 5.0. And what I also like with the texture is that it's very tiny, and I do not know how it's done, but it's beautifully done. For weight and size, I do like the weight considering the size. It's perfect for me for this kind of piece, this big. I would say it's not too heavy and it's not too light as well, so I'm giving it as well a 5.0. Details and complexity, I'm also giving this a 5.0 because considering this is Daredevil, I would say this is that much the detail of a modern suit there would be for Daredevil. I don't want him to have too many straps as well. I don't like that one. I also don't want too many panels or modules of his suit. Just this one, really beautifully done. I like the musculature and everything, the creases, really subtle sculpts there. I like that. That's why I'm giving a 5.0 for details and complexity. For design, the concept wise, I really like the concept, the billy clubs, where you can change or switch out this. Really beautiful for that one. I like the pose, very Daredevil pose. I like the base, a really nice cylindrical space for that. I also just wish that the head sculpt was more of a unmasked. I'm sorry, that's my alarm. Unmasked head. So basically, I think that's the only complaint for me, other than also not having those not bloody concept. I guess Marvel wouldn't want that, but nonetheless, concept wise, I'm giving this a 4.0. For displayability, really easy to display. It's just that it's a bit because it's scratched, and you have to put it on eye level or even higher. So I'm just giving this a 4.5, but it's really easy to integrate this one in your collection. For assembly, really easy to assemble, easily done. You just put in there and then that's it. I really do like that. And even the billy clubs, the exchanging the billy clubs, that's also very easy. So I'm giving it a 5.0 for assembly. For switch outs and mixed media, the switch out is actually this one and this. So this is a regular head and this is the exclusive head. And what I also do like is that this one, so I actually have they gave me two. I thought the other one is actually longer, but they're actually the same. And if you don't want the strings, you can actually just place it like this one. So this is actually really good. The only concern for me and the switch outs is actually I really wish the exclusive is the unmasked portrait. So then giving this a 4.5 for switch outs and mixed media. So this is Sideshow Daredevil premium format exclusive, beautifully done, brilliant piece. I really like it. I guess this would also still stay longer in my collection. So thank you for watching and stay tuned for more videos.